So the Marshall and the Saloon Girl, Big Ned and Mandy, are trying to find a place to settle down, to retire, to spend their twilight years together. They're level 5. They are tired of getting beat up and thrown to the wolves, and they've been fighting for justice and the West and for Brimstone, and they're just looking to try and take a break. So they are looking for a town. What kind of town have they ended up with this time? Well, we will have to see as they wander through town. It is a 7, just a regular old town. So let's find out what is in this town. There's a blacksmith shop. There's a mutant quarter. A saloon, that's good for the Saloon Girl. A sheriff's office. An Indian trading post. A gambling hall. A general store. And a frontier outpost. So we'll see if there's anywhere for them to make a little money, sell some darkstone, maybe see what happens in these towns. It is day 1 in their town. So the first thing that happens every day is you do a daily event. Town daily event. A brutal rain hammers the town, flooding the streets with mud and soaking to the bone any who dare to set foot outside. All rolls on the location event chart in town today are -1 to a minimum of 2. Then each will pay their $10 to stay at the hotel while they decide if this is the town they want to stay in. Lawman is going to go to the frontier outpost, and the Saloon Girl will go to the saloon because she really has nothing else to do. So, Frontier Outpost, location event is an 8, which is a 7. Trading post. A local prospector has returned from the mines with a strange artifact. He's willing to part with it for a price. Draw a world card to determine where the prospector has been, then draw an artifact card from that world, and it can be purchased for D6 times 150. So let's see how much it would be. Yeah, we're not even going to bother because they're here to sell, not buy. Then the Saloon Girl, she rolls it a 6. Dark tidings. There is a sullen mood in the bar as a gloomy patron tells you of a stagecoach torn to pieces by a swarm of hellbats on the road into town. Start the next adventure with one less grit than normal. Okay. Darn. Alright, but the Saloon Girl, on the other hand, is going to entertain. She can do once per visit, and she may entertain the patrons to earn money. She can choose either performance, agility, or storytelling, which is lore. Roll a number of dice equal to the skill, and for every 4 or 5 you get $25, and for every 6 you get 50. So, the Saloon Girl has a lore of 6. So she is going to roll. She does not do that well. She gets 2 4s and a 5. That's 3. So she gets a whopping $75. And she only gets to do that once per visit. Let's see, what else could she do? She is out of Darkstone because it took all of that to heal her. Darn, you know what? She's going to have to come back to the saloon and get some Darkstone from the Marshal to buy a Darkstone corset, and then she can actually sell the corset she has now that gives her the +6 armor. That way she can get a +5 armor and +1 to her max grit. And she's got the money for it, so that's what she'll do. So she's just going to be done. The lawman is at the frontier outpost. He has 8 Darkstone in his Darkstone box. So he's going to sell some darkstone. So here's 4 darkstone. He has a ton of darkstone. So he's going to sell the first 4, each shard individually. So actually let's sell 5, 6. He's going to sell 6 darkstone. He's saving the 8 for the Saloon Girl. So there's 6 darkstone that he will get rid of. It is a D6 times 25 each. Oh, wow. Okay, well, there's 50, there's 100. Right? 25 each, yep. Then there is 150, 300, so he's up to 450. Plus another 250. 550, 650, so 700 he gets. What else might he want to do? You know, I think he could buy some military gloves, because those are, your critical hits are +1 damage. It's only 1650. He's got plenty of money for it, but let's, you know what, let's sell 4 more darkstone. Alright, so he gets 75, that's 150, 250, 350, 400 more. So he's going to buy the military gloves for 1650. And because he's got that Punisher, he gets critical hits a lot, so his critical hits would be worth 1+ extra. Now if a monster is immune to critical hits, I guess they would be immune to that +1 damage, or it was still a critical hit. Does he still get the +1 damage? It's an interesting one. Now he's got the Traveler's Boots, so he's not going to buy the Desert Boots. He doesn't need any other equipment. But you know what? I think he might buy a dynamite just to keep one on hand. Though they don't sound like they're really wanting to be retired, do they? Where's the dynamite? It's in here somewhere. There it is. And he's got 3 extra side bag items, I think. Alright, and that is their first turn. So they are going to roll to see if something happens in the town. And of course it does. So let's see what happens in the town. 2d6. An 11. The end is nigh. The people are stocking up on supplies and weapons. Feeling like the next big attack could come at any time. All prices in town are +50 due to increasing demand. So I guess that happens tomorrow? I thought we did that at the end of the day. I better look that up. Sorry about that. The memory card was full, so I had to go delete some stuff off of it. But this one is kind of a weird one because everything is $50 more, but you do the roll at the end of the day. So I'm going to make the assumption that tomorrow everything is +50. So that is the end of day 1, and it actually comes back, this comes back to 1, so not a big deal. So day 2, a daily event. The town is filled with wounded soldiers that marched in this morning from a nearby battle. They're the last remnants of their division, overrun by horrors from beyond. Each hero may give up their day in town to help the wounded, make a lore 3+ test, and gain 10 experience for every 3 rolled. If at least 1 6 is rolled, you may also draw a gear card as the dying soldier passes it on to you. Well, we can do that. So it is a lore 3. Saloon Girl has a lore of 6. It's a especially good one for her. So we will roll. So she gets 3. So that is 30 experience, and she gets a gear card. So she gets gain a fine cigar token and discard this card. Fine cigar token. I'll have to look up what that does real quick. My guess is it blocks damage just like the cigar that she has. And now the lawman only has a lore of 2. So not as likely that anything good will happen for him, but well, he gets 20 experience. That's it. And then they'll pay their $10. And now to roll and see if anything happens. No. So on to the next day. Draw their daily event. Any hero that chose to stay at the campsite today may only roll a single D8 on the campsite hazard chart. Well, they didn't do that. Daily event's done. They have to pay their 10 to stay. Saloon Girl's going to go back to the saloon after he gives her 8 Darkstone. And then he will go... Yeah, there's nothing really that he wants to do or that he needs to buy, so he's just going to go to the sheriff's office and check out the bounty, see what's going to happen. So, alright, so his location event L is a 6. Cold Hard Justice, no event. And her event is a 10. So a 10 is Song and Dance. One of the saloon girls catches your eye and she motions you to come over. Following her up the stairs, she leads you to a back room, make a luck 5 test. If passed, you are reinvigorated by her comforting presence, gain D3 health permanently. If failed, you are knocked over the head and wake hours later to find your wallet gone, lose money, and your saloon visit ends immediately. So we are going to do, that is a luck 5. Her luck is 4. So we will do a luck 5 test. And she passes clearly. So she gets D3 health permanently. Oh, she gets 1 health. Hooray. But that's still 1 additional health. So that takes her up to 26 health. And then she is going to... she's going to try her entertainment again. And she will, of course, do her lore test. Again, she doesn't do that well and only gets 3 passes. So, and there are no 6s, so she just gets another 75. And then I think she is going to sell her bone corset and buy a Darkstone corset. Now it is an extra $50 and 8 Darkstone, so it's $32.50, but she's going to sell off her bone corset. So let me mark all, because the difference being she gets +1 max grit and a 5+ armor instead of 6+ armor. And she has 5,000 gold, so it's not really that big a deal. And the lawman is really just down to 2 Darkstone. And I think that will end their visit here, but let's do their daily, of course. Let's see what happens. a 5 on the daily event chart. The fever, a terrible plague, spreads through the camp, causing void boils and death. Each hero must make a Spirit 6 test to avoid the sickness. If successful, gain 10 experience. If failed, take D6 plus 3 wounds. Ooh, and that will go into their next adventure. So, alright, so a Spirit 6. Her Spirit is 3. Okay. Ooh, she's going to use her grit. And she passes. Alright. And she might as well have used that grit because she will lose it before the next adventure anyway. And then, oh, poor Marshall. He's only got a Spirit of 2. And he'll use his grit. What the heck. And he still fails. So he takes 9 wounds. Well, that is the end. They are going to call it. And they really like this town. So they think they're going to maybe hang out here for a while. Now, of course, since they're living here, things happen when you live in a place. So let's see what kind of adventure happens in their little town. So they are going to be two. Hanging high. Looks like a good day for a hanging. A group of corrupt U.S. Marshals have taken an innocent townsperson into custody, blaming him for their own nefarious crimes. As the morning of his public hanging arrives, the rest of the town looks on in despair. If only someone would stand up to these dirty lawmen and bring justice back to this town. So we'll need the town adventure board. We'll place a gallows token as well as 4 bandit models and 10 townsfolk markers on the board. There are not 3 heroes, so we don't have to do anything extra. The heroes can start in any of the spaces along the length of the board edge, and their goal is to keep the marshals from executing the innocent person. When we get back, we will be set up, and the next adventure is a town adventure, and the lawman and the saloon girl are going to try and clean up this place they want to retire.